love that turbocharger, and I love the fact that this engine will wind up all the way to 6,500 RPM. And I love the fact, I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but I love the fact that you don't have that CVT drone. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the 2016 Chevy Malibu. And Chevy flew me out here to San Francisco and took this airplane out of the hangar and set up the Malibu in the hangar so that we could get to know all about the new car, and so that you can also get to know all about the new car. And that is coming up right now on the Fast Lane Car. Oh yeah, we'll also take it for a ride. All right, first time behind the wheel of the brand new 2016 Chevy Malibu, and I gotta tell you, I like being behind the wheel of this car because this new car is a lot sexier than the outgoing car. The outgoing car was, well, let's call it frumpy and be kind, but a lot of you may think that it was a rent-a-car special, the kind of car that gets a lot of fleet sales. I think you know where I'm going with this, but this new car, man, I feel like I'm riding in style. Whenever an automaker introduces a new car, they have to give you some reason to buy the new vehicle. In this case, Jim has given you not one, but 3 reasons. It's bigger, it's longer. That's number 1. It's more fuel efficient. That's number 2. And of course, it's faster, it's more powerful. That's number 3. But perhaps the most important reason to my mind is it's a lot more stylish. It's bolder. It's got a little more of that Detroit panache to it. Chevy will tell you that this car is all about torque. I'm in the 2-liter. Puts out about 250 horsepower and 258 pound-foot of torque. And of course, it is a front-wheel drive car. So the question is, if I give it the beans, will it put a smile on my face or will it not? Shall I give it the beans? I don't have a lot of beans to give it here because the speed limit's pretty low, but just a second of power. Let's see. All right, there is a little bit of turbo lag. But for the most part, yeah, it's lively. .3 inches more legroom back here, and of course a 4-inch longer wheelbase. And you can really tell that when you sit in the back seat. There's just a lot more room. Is it as roomy as the segment-leading Passat? Probably not, but it's darn close. And you know what? I even have, I wouldn't say sufficient headroom, but enough headroom to feel like my head is not hitting the ceiling. And Chevy says that an estimated EPA number is 22 in the city and 32 on the highway for the 2-liter with 258 pound-foot of torque. That's a pretty cool number. I can get used to that. The other thing I like about this car is that it feels really solid. You know, the old Malibu felt like it was a collection of parts. This feels like they've screwed it together much more tightly. And you know, you have to do that in this segment. If you're going to be even competitive in the mid-size segment in America, you got to bring it, because you're competing against some not just popular but well-established vehicles. This Malibu competes in the highly competitive mid-size sedan segment with cars like the Honda Accord, the Camry, and of course, the American, the Ford Fusion. So what sets it apart? Well, first and foremost, it's the lightest car in that entire category segment of cars. 300 pounds lighter than the outgoing vehicle. And there's a lot of new technology in the car, including Apple CarPlay. About the latest safety technology, and you can get it on the Malibu. And what I mean by that is, of course, you've got blind spot monitoring, you've got reverse cross traffic alert, you've got auto braking in case a pedestrian here on the Stanford campus would decide to jump in and get in my way. The car would brake itself. You have lane keep. The car knows where the lines are, and if you turn it on, it will actively keep the car within those lines. So all of the latest technology, safety tech, is in this vehicle. The interior of the Malibu is a very nice place to spend a lot of time. There are still some cheap plastics, but for the most part, everything I touch, steering wheel, my elbow placement, my other elbow placement, and everywhere I look, I see relatively expensive and high quality materials. I could see myself driving across the country quite comfortably in this vehicle. On the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, as always, I have to spend a little bit more time behind the wheel to get a real feel for it. But GM was kind enough to supply us with some of the competing vehicles. Right there out of camera range is a Ford Fusion. So in the next video, we're going to take the Malibu for a ride and compare it head to head to some of the other competing midsize sedan. And that is coming up very soon. As always, this is Roman saying, click on me if you want to see more 2016 reviews. And don't forget to check out tflcar.com for more news, views, and of course, Chevy Malibu reviews. See you next time. Ciao. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very rainy San Francisco. And Chevy flew me down here to test drive the new Malibu, but they also gave us some competitor cars. To my left is the Ford Fusion. Over here, we have the Honda Accord, and of course, right here, the best-selling car in the mid-size sedan segment, the Toyota Camry. And here it is, the brand spanking new Chevy Malibu. So which one of these cars is the best buy? Well, you know what? I'm going to take them all for a ride, and that is coming up next on the Fast Lane Car.